The old adage, April showers bring May flowers, that's something that we have to think about each and every spring because it means it could be a risk of flooding in the region. We're joined by Ryan Kitchen and Erika Navarro of the NPCA. Ryan, your responsibility, one of the many responsibilities, is flood forecasting. How do you do that?
So on any given day, weather's always changing, constantly changing. So one of our duties is we conduct a daily planning cycle. So we're monitoring the weather each and every day, multiple times throughout the day, depending on how serious the rain potential is. So that's one way. We also have a series of gauges, which we monitor, again, daily. And we use that information to assess the threat level. And if the threat level warrants, we will issue a message to the general public, media like yourselves, emergency managers throughout Niagara.
Where are those gauges kept? Where are they in various different spots?
Yeah, strategically throughout the watershed. So we have two main water courses, the 20 Mile Creek and Welland River. We also have 4 Mile Creek in Niagara on the Lake, Black Creek in Stevensville, Fort Erie. So they're placed strategically throughout the watershed to get a good idea as to where the water is moving to.
Erika, one of your responsibilities as communications professionals to make sure you help get that word out when those advisories need to get out.
Absolutely. So when Ryan and his team are ready to send out the flood advisory, we do post it on our website. We also share it on our social media channels. And as Ryan mentioned, we send it to emergency response officials, organizations that should be in the know. Some of those include, the school boards and of course municipalities.
There's also an app, am I correct?
Absolutely.
Tell me about that app.
The fantastic Alertable app. So we have been using the app for about 4 years now. It's an app that was originally used, I believe, out west for things like forest fires and emergencies such as the forest fires. And it started coming to Ontario, and about 4 years ago, we were actually the first conservation authority to ever use the Alertable app. Three fantastic things about the Alertable app. One, it is completely free. For anybody to download, whether that's Apple or Android. You can even download it on your computer and have it ready to go if you want to look at it. And then the second is that it's completely customizable. So if you live in Lake Erie, for example, and you're not so interested in other
right, so you can
advisories,
choose which advisories you would receive.
Yeah, completely customizable, and it's completely free. So you can't go wrong with that.
Ryan, tell me about these advisories. I understand there's 4 different colors. So sometimes an advisory goes out and it's really not something to worry about. It's more of an update in a way.
Exactly, yeah. So it's a pretty simple color-coded system: green, yellow, orange, red. Green, there's typically no messages, business as usual. Once we start to see something come through that may impact the watershed, we'll issue either a flood outlook or a condition statement, which is in the yellow category. And that's just be aware that something might come. Then we have a flood watch, which are things are a little bit more serious. We're getting a little bit more rain than anticipated, or it's really going to start to create runoff within the local water courses, and they're going to be potentially flooding low-lying areas. And then we have the flood warning, which is our red category. With
the warmer winters that we've experienced, does that mean that some of these advisories are pushing into earlier in the year as well?
Yeah, so on any given day, it's different. It depends on what the watershed characteristics are showing for that day. So as you know, we had a pretty different winter, I would say, compared to normal.
Not a lot of snow,
exactly.
So there wasn't as much melt off.
Exactly, so we didn't have to really issue any messages due to that. But we have thunderstorms, potentially, early spring, fall, or summer, sorry. We'll get thunderstorms come through as well. Lake Erie shoreline floods in November, so we're busy throughout the year because flooding can happen at any point in time.
Typically in the spring, is there, I wouldn't say a target number, but an average number of advisories that happen?
It's different every year, to be honest with you. We don't have like a set average. Like this year we haven't issued any. We issued one in January when we had that snow and the rain on snow event. But since then, we haven't had to issue any, so it all depends on the year, depends on the season.
What are some of the, I guess, more prevalent areas where flooding does tend to occur?
Close to local water courses. So within Niagara, we're unique. We have, many different smaller water courses. Some of them are ungaged, so we don't have systems to monitor water levels. But the larger ones we do, like the Welland River, 20 Mile Creek, 4 Mile Creek in Niagara on the Lake. And so we have these gauges, which are our eyes and ears out in the watershed.
And is that all done remotely? So these gauges are out there. Do you read them from a central area, NPCA offices?
Yeah, so they post our data in near real time to our website. And so they're pumping data out every 15 minutes roughly. And so we're getting that data almost instantaneously.
Erika, what does the NPCA do when flooding does occur, when these advisories become something that people have to worry about? Does the NPCA work to manage that flooding?
So we actually are just the ears and eyes of the watershed. So our job is, and Ryan Teams does this very well, is to monitor and alert. From that, this important information does go to the municipalities and emergency officials, who then make the decisions and alert their residents to how to prepare and how to act. And that's why the different colors is so important, because it doesn't always mean warning. It doesn't always mean red. It just means stay in the know where to find your information, start preparing, and then once you hit the between the orange and red, you should be looking into your municipality for more information. If it gets that bad, things like an evacuation, or your emergency officials, and of course local media, who are reporting almost instantaneously on what to do in the event of a serious flood.
So communication between the NPCA and the municipalities is very important, right?
It is very important, yes. Yeah, and so we sit with the emergency managers within Niagara for all 12 municipalities. We meet fairly regularly. So as Erika said, we're the eyes and ears. The municipalities are the boots on the ground, so to speak.
So they have the resources to go in and help people clean up and...
Exactly. So we're before the flood typically happens, we're issuing those messages, and then municipalities, they take the during and the after the recovery phase.
So I guess the first step for the public, go to the website, but also download, it's called Alertable.
Download the Alertable app, because I forgot to mention the best third thing is that the alerts go directly to your phone. So while
Android and iOS?
Yeah, exactly. While as a communication specialist, I would love for you to go to our website and our social media. The point is we want to keep you safe, you and your property. So if you can get those alerts directly to your phone, you don't have to be looking for that information, and you can go daily with the peace of mind that if there is something happening in your area, you'll be the first to know, because it'll ping on your phone.
Perfect. Erika, Ryan, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks so much.
Mike.